This week has made me go completely out of sync, and I think that has now been evidenced by the fact that I've started my period randomly 14 days early. So I'm not in the best mood. In fact, I'd go as far as to say I'm in a bad mood. So today I thought we'd do a Q&A. I went on Twitter, I asked people to ask me things. Lara asks, what was the best concert you've ever been to? And I can tell you that. So it's actually 2 concerts and both were by Foals. I saw them once at a festival called Latitude where they played to a crowd of about 4,000 people. And then I saw them, and that was electric. That was so amazing. And then I saw them in my local venue, which has a capacity of 250 about a year or 2 later. And they also played that phenomenally well. Walk-in Sweet Shop asks, will you ever make any merch? For those of you that have been around a little while, you'll know that last Sitsy, last Sitsy, 2015, I blended my own tea. Obviously I didn't physically blend it myself, but I sourced and created my own blend of tea and sold it. And that was my first foray into business of any kind. And it taught me a lot, and I'd love to sell merch again. I would like to sell something easier to source and to break even on, so that I end up being able to invest again in more of the product. So if anyone's got any requests, you know, something, I've got some ideas in the pipeline and some designers I'd love to work with, but it just involves me getting the money together. Emmy Brown asks, how's life post-graduation? I'm graduating this year and I'm terrified of the real world and getting a career. My graduation has been the weirdest thing because it feels like I'm still in uni, except I don't go to uni anymore because this is my full-time job. Making videos is my full-time job now. I'm seeing this as my year out of sorts. So this is the year where I can experiment and I can try this and do this full-time and see if I can get it off the ground. And I think I've got it off the ground. I'm enjoying it loads. So my real life graduation has been weird because it hasn't been typical at all, but it's also nothing to be scared of. I think there's a point where you just want to get out of studying and education, and I've been in education all the time since I was 4 years old. So now I'm thrilled to be out of it for a couple of years, if not forever. Emily asks, what makeup product is always in your makeup bag? I don't know. The Gosh lip pencil in Nougat Crisp. That has been with me for 3 or 4 years now, and it's such a great lip product. Lucia asks, as you grow with time, do you think YouTube is going to become a bigger or a smaller part of your life? That's a really good question, and I don't know the answer. I've kind of reached the point where I think there's not much point in contemplating the future of YouTube. I work on the idea that it might be dead in 5 years, because it might be. So I try and think career-wise about stuff I can do that gets me off the platform whilst also staying on it, because that gives me the creative freedom that I love doing this. Like, I absolutely love making videos. I am very aware as well that as I age, which isn't happening anytime soon, well, it's always happening indefinitely, but oh God. As I get, if I get to 30, I'm probably not still going to be YouTubing. But again, we will see. There's loads of time. I don't need to worry about this right now. I'm just always thinking a bit catastrophically about this platform. We Are 1D Family asks, do you believe in love at first sight? No. M asks, do you have a film that you can watch 1,000,000 times and not get bored of? Mean Girls, obviously. 10 Things I Hate About You. Grease. I think that's it. Georgia asks, what new music are you excited for this year? Do you know what? I think we had quite a good year in music for 2016. I think 2017, I'm looking forward to hearing Georgia Smith hopefully release an album, if not an EP. Who else am I looking forward to? Oh my God, I read this article the other day. I'll link it in the down bar. And it's loads of industry experts for The Guardian answering what they think is going to be big. And there's so much stuff I'm so excited for. I want to see Skepta do more stuff as well, because I want to see grime expand. I want to see UK hip hop expand more. Oh, Janae Aiko, I think she's going to release something this year. Oh, I'd love her to release something this year. Idani Moon asks, what is your favourite song at the moment? Oh, I absolutely love the song Don't Call Me by Shaka. I think that is so good. And I Can't Even by The Neighbourhood. Oh, also You With Me by Drake. I completely dismissed Views, like really early on. I really didn't like it. But You With Me is actually a really great track, and I completely forgot about it. Ash asks, who are the most inspirational / girl boss women to you? So, fun fact, I love Grace Victory. I think she is amazing and so inspirational. And I'm actually getting to film with her next week for a veg about being a girl boss. And I'm so excited because I adore her. So she is my ultimate girl crush, girl boss, girl crush. Katie asks, do you feel like your YouTube style has changed over the past years? And do you like the changes you've made? Yes, my YouTube style has changed phenomenally. For one, I vlog now. I didn't used to vlog. I used to hate vlogging. And now I like it. I get something out of it. But I prefer the bigger, arty, creative projects. Even if that's just a what I eat in a week, or hopefully some fashion stuff eventually. I'm like the boy that cried wolf about fashion videos. But yeah, stuff where it's bigger is the stuff I get the most pleasure from. And that's the stuff I've been neglecting over doing more vlogs. So I'm happy in a way with the direction it's taken, because I think my quality overall has improved. But I'd love to invest a lot more time in many bigger, artier projects. Tilly asks, Goddess or The Altar? For those of you that don't know, those are Banks' 2 albums, and I have to pick The Altar. Hamilton Grump asks, how does it feel knowing that you directly influence and change the lives of others? It is utterly weird. Mel asks, what was the most interesting module you studied at uni? Uni was fascinating. Everything I studied was so interesting. But my most interesting module was about medieval India. It was about the Mughals. And I shouldn't refer to it as medieval India because that is actually completely inappropriate. But to contextualise, I'll compare it to Western society. Yeah, the Mughals was so interesting. I did one about 20th century Africa, and that was amazing, and that was run by my favourite tutor. He's called John. Yeah, just anything on modern South Asia. Basically, I got really lucky. I got to study so much of what I was fascinated by. Georgia asks, what are your favourite vegetarian recipes to cook at home? I love making a good Thai green curry. Obviously, I leave out the fish paste and just put loads of vegetables in it. Like, if you've ever had the ricey curry from Wagamama, I just put like green beans in it and big chunks of red onion, and what else do I put in it? Just like, you know, big chunks of stuff. And mushrooms. I'm really sorry, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Jintari asks, favourite horror movie or any horror movie recommendations? I haven't watched horror movies in years, but when I did, I liked slasher films, which are where the teenagers get killed off one by one. And for some reason, is just the perfect amount of scare for me. Whereas anything supernatural, oh my god, I'm absolutely out of that room right away. I hate supernatural horror. I like the Scream series. It's not a trilogy anymore, is it? There's like 4 of them. I really like Scream. I think that's really good. And just has the right balance of horror for me. Dylan asks, do you ever catch yourself replaying a certain life moment over and over again in your mind? If so, what is that moment? I can tell you what it was for a long time. It was a moment when I was probably 14 or 15, and I was on a train and I was with a boy, and I deeply, deeply regretted at that time not making a move on him. And I remember that really sticking in my mind, because I was like, you should never regret stuff you didn't do. Only regret the stuff you did do, because then at least you did it. And that moment kept me within that mindset for a really long time. Maria asks, what's one language and one instrument you'd love to learn how to speak / play? Language is French. I love French. Instrument, something cool like a harp. I'd quite like to be able to play the accordion or something. Saxophone, wouldn't that be great? Natalie asks, what's the most recent big life lesson you've learned? I've learned a lot of life lessons over the past couple of months. In fact, over the past year. I might do a little video of things I learned in 2016, because oh my god, that was a year of development. Someone said to me the other day that you don't grow when you're comfortable. And as much as I hated to hear that, I needed to hear it. And finally, because it wouldn't be a Lucy video now without a question about alcohol, Zoe asks, have you stopped drinking forever, or will you gradually reintroduce alcohol after you've been sober for a while? I feel like I should talk about this briefly, because I don't know, but I'm taking it a day at a time, obviously. And I might try alcohol. I will try alcohol again, and I might try it in the next couple of months. See how that is, but by trying it, that doesn't mean I'm going to reintroduce it necessarily. I don't want to reintroduce alcohol until I can be so confident that I can develop a healthy relationship with it. So at the moment, I don't know. But right now, I'm sober. Yeah. Thank you for watching this Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's pretty low key, but right now my vagina feels like it's going to rip itself out of me. So we're going to go take some painkillers, and then I have to do work for the rest of the day. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry I'm a mopey, moaning Myrtle today. It's sourpuss is the other way I describe myself when I'm feeling like this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.